Hi, how you doing? I wanted to talk a little bit about Bastok I Am the One. I have a folder here. Show you the folder there. And that's a whole folder about Bastok I Am the One. And that's the inspiration writing the novel that I want to. But it requires people. What I wanted to show you was some inspiration from this book. That's Shakespearean. Just reading some of it makes you feel like you're already reading about Bastok. So take this for instance. Though this madness, yet there is method in it. And that was off of Hamlet. Then this message of love. Or aught that I could ever read, could ever hear, by tale or history, the course of true love never did run smooth. That was a midsummer's night dream. So, a lot of inspiration when I wrote Bastok came from reading Shakespeare. And just to show you that I'm pretty serious about writing this. I mean, I've already wrote, here is the manuscript. Bastok I Am the One, The Perfect Love Story. That's a lot of pages. That used to be thicker. And quite a few things have been taken out. Put that there. My very favorite passage was right before Bastok died. I'll read that to you. There's quite a few passages that we can get to, but it's going to take you knowing the things I know about Bastok I Am the One. So this passage here is from his near death. A server rejection. So what we have here is Bastok is dying, and he's been betrayed from a whole server, and the person he loved betrayed him because of a simple thing. So let me read this to you. I know now that I can never return to that land of misfortune and vultures and trolls and what have you, mean cats and big rodents. I know that she has passed by me and forever will never be by me. She has denied my simple love and ways of life that are foretold amongst the sky. I have but to wait and let this pass by me, as I cannot let this burning passion defeat me alone. Alone is what they say that I will become. Ha! They were so wrong. I am the one that was built on alone. As it is written, so it shall be. I will create a stir that no one has yet seen, thus create a paradox that one can only bear in the brink of war that cries amongst the starving of that of dogs to bear. I will not wait, I will be swift. For the time is at hand that Hyperion has called to arms and shamed themselves with that land they call Eorzea. That land was obliterated as it was no good, as it was thus not yet perfect, and the heavens cried out to me as this was not too far off the scale for the imperfection that was made upon that land. I am seeing that one day, not long far from this, will set foot in new Eorzea, and a new adventure that will begin. However, will I be there? Can I set foot again and seek someone to share that joy as I have? I don't know, that joy has let me down. I see what they see. As for what little could I do to help them in their need? A thorn in their side is what is said to them by me. I have to recite what I know to be true. That is in me. Let forth bring another, or continue this blight. Oh, how meaningless she left my audience. How crude she is with her words, that doeth no charm to harm, but bear light her own crude ways. True, I used her existence to be true. How could I tell them that I was telling the truth, and thus not perceiving their ear to just let them hear of good works? That I had encountered a vice to you that sees no justice. I am here yet cannot be heard, and so do I sit and wallow and throw the dirt around and break my chalice that I once rode. I will write again that which mended the hearts of those that heard, and gave breath to the ones that were desperately at hand amongst the filth that Hyperion called forth. There is not only desert, but forest and rock and water and tranquility in not one place. I decided to go amongst the dark, favored, dreaded fountains of the night air, and look to trod the way of the people and see what fare. I could see but a forth, though I see no discipline in the air for the entire year. I have ridden and went against the will of mine that I would depart on a mission to seek one that is fair and true. In my findings I feel that I am left with nothing but troublings of a child that does not feel, taste, or hear. What words of her own mouth and mine that trick her to see that the reaper was near? And nay, that is not true. I will have my justice, and I will see it through. I want to be on the mountain that on the sky of the night air that I dwell, that put forth the sun that is creator of the light that has a sword that beats upon my heart. The matter at hand is so trite and true. I will see to that justice, and I imparted it too. I will break down half-trodden world and build it anew, and go with my newly found crew. I will come down on those that have not seen my wrath, and bear down on my name that is so long and so true. They will spring forth mercy of I am the one, and bounce on their words and works that so humbly come. I will say, nay, you don't believe me, and set forth before my hand, beat it upon that thing they call a brand. I will burn their castles and take up their structures, and stay well considered that I am, and I am. For the night has stricken me as bold as a knife, and will set it, my wrath, upon the blight they call Eorzeans. For behold, I will come in the shadow of the night, and take that which is mine, and make you see that you're as well as the pregnated wife. And I which never knew, and therefore I must slew. 1,000 lashes across the forehead, and one that is tried and true, will take that evil away from you. Will gain from my authority in your head, and make you hear the words I said. Will let loose in this jail that is hell, and take you down in it, and let forth you as a snail. Will you cry? Will you beg? Will you hear your own words that were once said? And that was a passage before he died. I'd like to read one more. I know we don't have much time. But this is about marriage. Not Bastok's marriage. I was going to write this in the third book, but I almost decided to write it soon. So it's this one here. And these are straight off the servers. You can see them live, I mean, if you need to. So what we have here is a passage that Bastok wrote called Real World versus the XIV world. So it's a speech. So let's say you have a job. If you're a man or woman at age 19 plus, you must work daily to achieve your goals and what you must do for those days. If you're smart, you're going to a daily job that allows you to do things you want to do with someone or friends. At the end of the day, during the day, you hope to have lunch or talk with the boss or friends at work and achieve more goals and reputation. When you're ready to go home, the same thing applies. You go home to hope to talk to someone about more things and hopefully to have fun in something else or at home. You often feel lost in movies or TV because you are constantly watching programs. And that you hope to do something like that one day, or you feel you need to be that person in the TV or the movies that you see. You have no real conversations with anybody as you hope to express or feel what concerns you, and you hope that it concerns others. Now, if you are a woman, you are constantly preparing for other things and days. You don't look at the days as one day at a time, more like 1 week at a time. So you have no time for days. You're constantly planning ahead, hoping that one day it will pay off. You sit in front of the TV for 8+ hours, hoping, realizing that one day the programs will influence you and you will make a decision. One day to realize you don't like your life. You hope that everything will fall into your lap and you will live this fantasy way of living. I lost my place. Just a minute. You hope everything will fall into your lap and you will live this fantasy way of living that is broadcasted on TV or movies. That life doesn't exist, and Prince Charming doesn't exist. He doesn't, sorry. However, you still think that one day it will all change, and you will do anything to get it. No matter who you hurt, you will have this life. You will put a mask on and pretend to enjoy your life, and you will be in misery for the most part until you are unsatisfied with the outcome of the real world, and you will fall into alcohol, drugs, sex, money. In your life, there is at least one that you will fall into. The real world has your life, and that evolves around this, and it is a famous pattern. The real world is intended for you not to like your life, to view others in TV, movies, events to better your life, and to see that your way of life is not working. If you don't believe me, how many seminars have you been to? How many speakers do you know? How many religious books do you own? Your mind must be exercised. But how can it be if you watch TV all day and dream all day? Fantasy. You're thinking fantasy. Wondering about fantasy, reading about fantasy, striving for fantasy. Love book novels, daytime TV dramas, soap operas, game show, real life situations, government. You want to be involved, or you will be considered nothing. Wrong, 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 wrong. The way you live is right. The way you feel is right. As you were born, there are only one way to feel and live, by faith. You were born and by faith you lived. There was no choice. When the real world entered your mind and you understood the languages, then you made decisions, and then you yourself made the right choice all the time. The limitations were told to you by your parents, teachers, government officials. By these three, you feel you're obligated to do the right thing. You discover what is right and wrong, and what is wrong by your mind and the emotions of others. How big is this world? What do I have to do to understand it exactly? That's for a woman. Now, if you're a guy, you feel lonely all the time. You hope that your voice and actions are those that are imitated by someone famous. You love thinking of women, money, and sex all day long as you hope to evolve your life around this. You feel women understand you, and you hope to achieve the goals daily. You like talking bad about anything and hope someone will understand you. You are greedy. You want the world at your feet one day for power. You often think of men in great power, and you fantasize yourself in those positions. You don't feel it's a bad thing, money, power, glory, so you watch TV that glorifies all your decisions. Most guys on TV and movies most guys on TV, movies, and in real life act as you do. So you must follow the same pattern, or you will be an outcast. You feel you will lose everything if you don't follow the same pattern as most guys. So you change your language, act, your talking, your personality to fit a pattern. Deep down, you're really lost. Deep down, you're crying for fantasy. And that is what Bastok said to a server. Oh, I promise to make more videos. But it also takes more people to know. Thank you so much.